In the run-up to Kenya's 2022 polls, economic issues, particularly public debt and joblessness, took center stage. The Kenya Kwanza team, led by William Ruto, suggested that Kenya had overborrowed, a habit they pledged to stop. The proposals in the 2023 finance bill, some of which were rejected by the previous parliaments, paint a picture of a government that is keen on giving its revenue authority stronger teeth to bite, while making it expensive to appeal tax demands in the event of a dispute. Here's a report from Nairobi.
What do artificial nails, cryptocurrencies, and social media influencers have in common? They are all being targeted by Kenya's taxman. This as part of new proposals aimed at filling the coffers of President William Ruto's cash-strapped government. Ruto is seeking to repair a heavily indebted economy inherited from his predecessor, Uhuru Kenyatta, who ramped up borrowing to fund a splurge on costly infrastructure projects. Despite pledging to improve the lot of impoverished Kenyans during last year's election campaign, Ruto is now taking the politically unpopular step of raising taxes.
Maybe your client is used to the price which you normally charge. If it's 1,500, now you see the breads have gone up, the oil, everything. When your client comes and then you tell her, now you have to add 200, you find it difficult because even her, she doesn't have the amount to add. So you just charge the 1,500 as usual, but you have to cater for the loss.
Ruto's government has drawn up a $26 billion budget for financial year 2024, with the proposed new taxes expected to generate nearly $3 billion. Opponents have warned that the measures will hit small businesses at the very heart of the economy, as well as households struggling to make ends meet.
Because of how things are going, we are forced to use shortcuts. But even with the shortcuts, we have traffic jams. Things are not going well. People are not even going to the petrol station anymore.
The prices have overwhelmed me. I've never seen increases like this before. Prices have gone up and up and up. We were selling them at 30 Kenyan shillings. Now we're selling them at 80 Kenyan shillings.
East Africa's most dynamic economy has been hit hard by drought and the fallout from the Ukraine war that sent inflation soaring and GDP growth sliding. The central bank in March trimmed its 2023 GDP forecast to 5.8%, slower than the 6.1% predicted earlier. Kenya is also laboring under a $70 billion debt mountain, spooking credit ratings agencies including Moody's, which downgraded the country's sovereign debt rating further into junk territory. Ruto insists he is making the right decisions to get the economy and government finances back on track.
It's us, the riders, who are suffering. Because anything that is adding the cost or doing anything, it's falling on us. You see now, because there's no way you can go and tell a customer that because of the hike of the fuel, that you will add even a single coin.
Veteran opposition leader Raila Odinga is threatening to call Kenyans back onto the streets over what he has branded a tsunami of taxes. Earlier this year, he led a series of anti-government demonstrations over the cost of living crisis.
Mr. Ruto has asked me and Azimio to enter into a constitutional, open-ended and binding dialogue with his government to find a resolution to the issues that we in Azimio have raised about the last year's election and the key governance and cost of living issues facing our country.
The public had until May 20 to comment on the finance bill before it is debated by lawmakers. If passed, it will need presidential approval to become law. The country's national treasury will deliver the budget statement to Parliament on June 15th. Bureau Report, WION World is One.